Today we're going to start building that foreground on our movie poster and also the middle ground, which is our monster that this B movie is all about. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of a hint. You may remember we talked about Pixabay and other websites where you could get Creative Commons pictures. And I just went to Pixabay and I typed in people running, and many of the images that you're going to see me use today are from Pixabay and some of these silhouettes of people running. Silhouettes make really great foreground images for this because anything in the foreground is really going to be darker, and that's what happens with the silhouette. Usually things in the foreground that aren't the focus so much but are just kind of there become much darker and just become silhouettes. So I'm just going to start grabbing some of these images and moving them over to my movie poster, and I did find this one that's a little bit more detailed. I may use that one as well and darken it, however, leave some of the detail because I think those two are some interesting characters. All right, so I'm just going to be working on that. Okay, so now that I have all of these foreground images, and notice I darkened these two up with a color overlay and working with the opacity on those, I'm going to take all of these images and I'm going to drag them into a folder and make a group, and I'm going to call that group Foreground Images. Okay, so that's all in my foreground. All right, now I need to bring in my monster, which is my giant Chihuahua, and he's actually going to be going between this foreground and this background. So let me get him opened up. Okay, so here is the image of my Chihuahua that I'm going to be using. He's going to be a 50-foot Chihuahua because he needs to be big and scary. So the first thing that I did was I removed him from the background. So please spend some time doing that if you need to. And you'll notice that he's cut off here and he's cut off back here. So I'm going to need to do some adjusting on these things to make him fit in here just right. So let me drop him in first, and then I'm going to drag him between my foreground images and my cityscape background, and then I will just call this Chihuahua. Okay, so then I'm going to, his front feet have to be lower than my foreground people here because he's cut off there. So I have to keep that in mind. And also you'll notice because his rear is sticking up right here, that's going to need some adjustment too because I can't just have that like that. So I'm going to spend some time just adjusting that and altering it. Okay, and I spent a little bit of time clone stamping that Chihuahua to make him look natural on the image. And once I got him in place, I adjusted my foreground, and I can still go back and make any adjustments I want to as I'm working on it. But next we'll be working on adding the title and getting some of this text on here. So I'm going to go ahead and save for today and continue on this next time.